topic. We heard about mobile working, we heard about people being flexible. The whole point is this stuff is happening increasingly everywhere. So, here's the question. Do you suffer from nomophobia? Nomophobia is this term which was coined in 2008 as a result of a post office survey, which showed that, increasingly people, in this case 53% of people surveyed felt anxious when they had no phone. People feel stressed when their phone is off. Nomophobes don't like turning their phones off because something terrible is going to happen if that phone isn't on. Oh my goodness me, I've got to have my phone. And it's interesting because actually, statistics show people are more likely to leave home without their wallet these days than their mobile phone. And the phone is really interesting. The phone, you can make calls on it, you can text on it, but other things, for example, why can't you make payments from your phone? Well, of course, increasingly, there are people doing micropayments on phones or near-field payments by swiping your phone. Your phone knows where it is. Location is a very, very powerful tool. So, for example, if my phone knows I've just walked into a particular retail store, why can't it talk to the retailer, give me the offer that it knows will be the ideal offer for me, because it's got a relationship with me or maybe a social networking site? Phones have cameras on them. So on the right there's something called a QR code. It's a 2D barcode. They were designed so that phones can read them very easily. So, in the future, I don't want to write something down from an advert. I want to see a QR code, I want to point my phone at it, and my phone is then taken off the website for that company. I can buy the moment I see it. It's all about, in real time, I see it, I want it, I bought it on my phone. And ultimately, the real message here is that it's not just about phones. Everything is connected these days. And so, at the outset, Kevin was talking about, about how technology has changed. It's madness. We have this image of a computer with a keyboard created in the 1870s by a guy who wanted to slow us down such that the different things didn't actually, impact and get jammed. And so, why do we have to do it this way? But of course, the point is we don't. So if you look at the Apple iPhone, why is the iPhone so interesting? Well, it's interesting because it's cool and sexy and it's connected to the web, but it's also interesting because it introduced the world to the idea of gestures, of moving two fingers to scroll something, of making something bigger like this. It opened up technology to people who didn't like keyboards, but who liked touching and feeling stuff. The Nintendo Wii. So this, again, is a fascinating device. It took gaming, which used to be about people with joysticks sat on, on couches doing nothing else, to the domain of people, of all ages playing sport and doing stuff. The fact that my mother, my son's grandmother, plays, with him on the Wii is just, I think, testament to the fact that it's a very, very adaptable way of doing things. So why can't I watch TV on my Wii? Well, I can actually, as it happens, because the BBC have optimised the iPlayer to play on the Wii because they realise that it's a very, very important, different way to have that sort of that relationship with people. For example here, the Amazon Kindle. The Kindle is this fascinating thing which says, you want to read a book, why shouldn't it look like a book? Well, it should. It's got e-paper, but of course it's connected to the internet. So if I want to read the next book in a series, I press that button, at the moment I want it, it's on there, it's bought. It suggests other books that I might want based on my friends. It's this whole model of enabling a user interface, a device which feels natural, but is linked up to that web, to that smarter web, to those groups of people, to those conversations, to enable me to experience things in different ways. And this thing here, that's called an emotive headset. And this really is about the idea of brain control at a consumer level. The emotive headset understands what you're thinking. It can recognise your emotions. You can train it to do things like, I want to move that over there, and it'll recognise this. And so, for a couple of $100 now, you're getting devices which literally remove the need to even touch your computer. You can think about it, and it'll understand what you're thinking, and it'll do it. So, it really isn't, too far in the future that we'll get rid of, doing it just via a PC on a laptop. It's about everywhere I am, having an interface which matches the sort of thing I'm trying to do. My final example before I close. This is something that MIT are researching at the moment. It's called the sixth sense. And it's the idea that beyond just having the information in your phone, you can do it in other ways. So this is $300 worth of kit here. It's got a little projector, it's got a little camera, and the point is it's connected to the internet, of course. And so, through using gestures, it can see what you're trying to do. You want to take a picture, it'll take a picture. You're interested in calling someone up, it'll project the numbers onto any flat surface. You make the call. Likewise, perhaps you're out and about, you want some information on your ticket, you scan the ticket past the camera, it goes out, gets the real-time flight information, and projects it back onto the object. So it really isn't that far in the future that, moving beyond just having a web experience at home, we expect to have that web experience everywhere, and we expect to make our lives easier and smarter, you know, and really augment our experience of the world. And that's it. Pictures are credited there, of course, because of the fact that when we use pictures, we should say where we got them from. And with that, back over to Kevin.
Andy, thank you so much for that.